UFC on ESPN 5 just happened.
It did.
On Saturday.
I didn't get to watch it myself, but I heard many a traumatic story.
I was texting him, giving him little highlights. I was at a bar for my sister's boyfriend's 21st birthday, which I got to watch this fight without any commentary, which I thought was nice. Because, sometimes when you listen to commentary, you can get biases and you can kind of just
start leaning towards what they're saying.
Right. I have no idea what they even said at all because I didn't rewatch the fights or nothing. I rewatched
it's all your opinion. So
just like the highlights of it. So the fight card wasn't too stacked, so I was just going to talk about the co-main event and the main event.
Sure.
The co-main event was just a battle of two UFC veterans. Fucking for real veterans. They both have like 30 fights.
Way back.
Yeah, so Jim Miller versus Clay Guida. And the fight was pretty much everything that everyone expected in a very small package. It only lasted 59 seconds. I don't know
what do you expect?
So, they both go after each other. Clay rocks Jim with an overright, and then it stuns Jim. And then Jim, that kind of he pushes back a little bit, and he's like a little hesitant. He's trying to recover. He's playing it smart.
Sure.
Clay goes after him, and then Jim lands his own overright against Clay, stuns Clay, and Clay's instinct was to just wrestle because some people when they get tagged, they say that they're.
There's a Nate Diaz quote there or something.
What?
Everyone becomes a wrestler when they get punched in the face.
Maybe, I don't know. Oh, his is, you're a wrestler now.
Okay, a little more sass added on.
And, it's pretty much you go to your roots when you're tagged. Whatever you are most comfortable with.
That's like fight or flight. It's fight or wrestle.
So Clay immediately shot for a takedown, and Jim Miller's a really, really good jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Yeah.
And he immediately pulled guard, jumped on the guillotine, and choked Clay out, which was a pretty late stoppage, I would say, with Herb Dean.
Oh, yeah. You did send that to me. You think it was late?
I think it was late.
There was another one in one of the earlier women's bouts. I don't remember which one, but he was he pulled. I don't know if it was Herb either, but he pulled the arm and it kind of just flopped back into place. Don't know if that's exactly it or not.
Again? I didn't even see that one.
Did it a couple times, yeah.
Jeez. I think all this negative heat on Herb Dean for his past few fights might be getting to his head.
I don't think so. If you watch it, it's not gravity that's just pumping it back down. It's just quickly snapping back, and he did it a couple times.
You really think he pushed it back himself?
No, I don't think he pushed it back himself, but just the positioning of it, it kind of
okay.
went right back. It didn't sloop down. It didn't look dead.
Gotcha.
It wasn't a dead weight.
Well, he was out.
He was out.
Say that for a fact. So when Jim let him go, he was just straight, still in that position.
I know, yeah. He had to hold him there
on his knees, and he's just completely out. So
yeah.
Clay's a warrior. He's not gonna tap at all for sure.
True.
And good thing is with the guillotine, you're not gonna if you wait a couple seconds, it's not gonna completely ruin your career like a knee bar or arm bar or things like that. I hope you're right. Mm-hmm. I do think Herb is one of the most experienced referees in the game.
Yeah.
John McCarthy is not a ref anymore, so he's probably the most experienced ref in the game. If there's anybody who's not going to let the noise bother them, it would be him or Mark Goddard. I think he's a very good referee as well. He likes that. He goes in the public and explains his situations, things like that. They're both great referees. I guess I just adds to the story of the fight. That's all.
Sure.
So good fight, good win for Jim Miller. I think he has 2 wins in a row now, and the past 5 of his fights have ended in the first round, which is pretty gnarly.
That's something. How old is he? Do you know?
30 something, 34, 35.
It's not too bad.
He's been fighting forever, though.
From to being this veteran-only, classic fight. Sure, he can do.
He's 1983, so what is that? 17, 27,
math
27, 35. That's pretty close. But he had a fucking disease for the longest time. I forget what it's called. Let me see if I can find it real quick. F disease. Lyme disease. He had Lyme disease for the past 5-6 fights. Which hurts with your training camps, I guess. Maybe with the cardio or something. And he recently just got cured of it. And now he's been performing a little bit better, which is cool. Good for him. Okay. Hopefully he can go somewhere with it. Maybe get ranked again.
Yeah.
That lightweight division is fucking ridiculous. So good luck. But
get too high, but yeah.
At least he'll get a couple more exciting fights. Maybe a couple fight night bonuses, before he sails off to the sunset.
Fighters want to fight.
For real. So then the main event, Colby versus Robbie. And we made our picks last week.
We did.
You picked Robbie.
I did.
I picked Colby, and I was explaining before I was doing research on the fight, I was leaning towards Robbie because I thought this was a bad matchup for Colby because of Robbie's takedown defense. It's so good. And his savageness and his relentlessness and his ability to never give up, and he's just a scary matchup for everybody in that division. Mm-hmm. Then I rewatched 2 fights, Colby versus RDA and Robbie versus RDA. I just seen how the pressure got to Robbie, and I changed my pick from Robbie to Colby because I thought Kobe could do the exact same thing. And I was right.
He did quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, he, first of all, let's start by saying Kobe had the best walkout of the year by far. Pretty sure he's going to get walkout of the year for the whatever, I think it's the Hawani Awards or whatever.
Yeah.
Like almost positive.
The Kurt Angle walkout music.
Yes. He is.
Dun, 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 dun.
He's playing the heel as well as you can, I feel.
It's not even a heel. He's a fucking troll.
He's getting better at it.
I don't know. Some of his post-fight comments, some of the shit he said. I'm sure we'll get to it.
He goes a little bit.
Especially,
I'm not saying you don't cross lines.
Sure.
That's why he's a great heel. But I'm saying.
I think there's levels to the heel. He's at the bottom of the heel pool. You know, he's troll.
I don't think he's at the bottom.
Troll level, right above pile of shit.
I would say like. You got like, I feel like Chael, in my opinion, is the best shit talker of all time.
Yeah.
And you got Connor.
Okay.
And then you got like a pool of people. And I feel like Kobe's in that pool of people. I'm not saying he's like third best trash talker of all time, but I think he's better than Tito Ortiz, who was known for his trash talking in his prime.
Sure.
And as far as other people, I can't really think off the top of my head. Like Nate Diaz and the Diaz bros, they're not really trash talkers. That's just them being real. Like they're not trying to.
They're not playing a role.
Right. They're not trying to sell tickets. They're just like that's just how they think.
Yeah.
And that's just who they are.
It's pretty
and
crazy.
That attracts people and that makes them a star within itself. Just like Robbie's a star because he does the opposite and he just fights like a savage.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think Kobe is getting better at it, and I'm slowly becoming a fan. I honestly am. So he walks out to the Kurt Angle. Everybody says, "You suck." Shout out to Stone Cold because that's the only reason why that happens. And he came out there and he straight dominated Robbie from the first round all the way to the fifth round. Completely outstruck him, out-grappled him, out-pressured him, out everything.
Yeah, those takedowns.
Yeah.
Push him against cage, pushing the pace.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie had like no answer.
He landed 10 takedowns in the fight. He attempted 18 takedowns.
Jesus.
He threw the most strikes in UFC history at 510. He only landed 172 of them, but he still threw more than anybody in UFC
I think
history.
it might be more than that.
Really?
It might be 541. It
might be 541.
It beat Nico Montana. I think she has 522 or something like that.
Nico Montana had the second most?
Mm-hmm. Crazy, right?
Damn. I guess it must have been against...
It was against like a no-name, but...
No.
Not a no-name, but...
She's a sweetheart. I forget her name, though. She's
Rachel
very big in the...
something.
She's really big in the anime.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget her name.
That doesn't tell me
Anyways,
anything.
she's like very nerdy. She's very nice. Like she's been on the Ultimate Fighter and everything.
Trying to throw any shit here about her.
She's
just
a
saying.
nobody.
Fucking no. Well, she got pieced the fuck up. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, Kobe definitely. He proved that he's a fucking force in the welterweight division. I'll say
True,
that.
yeah.
To like completely shut down Robbie like that, it's pretty. It's impressive. He
No one does
won
that.
on the scorecards, 50-45 on two judges' scorecards, and
Yeah.
on one of them 50-44. So he had a
Yeah.
10-8 round. So I say like there was a couple positions where he was trying to get I don't know if it was just like a neck crank or a headlock from behind the back of Robbie, and he didn't look like he was in the right position to get like a pressured choke. I don't know if he was just trying to win the position and exhaust Robbie or frustrate him.
You do get points for...
You definitely get
getting
points.
in that position.
I don't know if he was trying to finish the
That's
fight.
what he's trying to do.
If he was trying to finish the fight, I don't think he would have in those positions at
Right.
all. But I definitely could tell it frustrated the shit out of Robbie because at the end of those rounds, he got up and he stormed to his cage. Like you could tell he wanted to do something, he just couldn't. And that's when you do that to Robbie, that's like, damn, that's pretty good.
True. Yeah, no one does that.
And within the last, just the way he was, the takedowns with the ankle picks and the elevating the foot, it reminded me of Khabib. Not as dominant once he
Yeah.
gets him to the ground, but the takedown level itself reminded me of Khabib.
Yeah, when you literally can't stop
Right.
someone from taking you down, you start feeling helpless.
Mm-hmm. And that, and also on top of it, he stood with Robbie
Yeah.
for the
Wasn't
last like 3 rounds.
Wasn't
Like,
afraid.
I feel like he exhausted Robbie to the point where he knew that his power punches weren't gonna hit him because he had higher cardio and he was there.
Mm-hmm.
If they did hit him, I'm sure they would have stunned Kobe. It wasn't like his power wasn't there anymore. It's just Kobe was comfortable enough on his feet and he was agile enough to know that he was going to be able to take Robbie down if he needed to, and he was going to stay out of danger basically and show his striking, which he has striking. So on top of that win, his post-fight comments, they weren't the best. Like I said, he's still growing, but I feel like he is getting better.
I
at
actually
his
wrote
trash
down
talk.
what he said.
The Matt Hughes thing. Oh,
Let's talk about the lesson we learned tonight, he says. It's a strong lesson that Robbie should have learned from his good buddy Matt Hughes. You stay off the tracks when a train's coming, Junior. Whether it's the Trump train or the Colby train, get out of the way.
Oof.
Hoof indeed.
I'll say this. I'm not the biggest Matt Hughes fan in the world anymore.
Sure.
He used to be my favorite fighter. He's the one that got me into the UFC. But after hearing all of the domestic shit that's going on in his past, or it's continuing to going on, like his wife put a restraining order on him, and all the shit allegedly with his brother, and like it just like it's shitty. And I hope it's not because of brain trauma. I hope he's just not a shitty person either. Yeah. But like it's just a sad story. So I'm not like I don't look at Matt Hughes as this legend you have to praise upon as everybody else does, because his body of work suggests it, and his horrible accident absolutely suggests that he's like America's sweetheart for the UFC. But then you got the personal shit, which for me, it's like...
Can't quite look past it.
I can't. No, not against domestic violence.
Right.
Absolutely not. So that Kobe line there doesn't hurt me as much as it hurts everybody else. And Matt Hughes even tweeted about it, saying he understands what Kobe's doing. He's like, you don't have to fucking say, bring me up, but I get it. And you got to have thick skin in this game.
Fair enough.
So if he ain't all fucking...
If Matt Hughes isn't bothered by it, then no reason for us to be bothered by it. But.
Yeah.
Definitely, he's walking the line. He's absolutely walking the line.
He's doing something with that line.
He got into it with Usman on the desk afterwards. Usman
which that was kind of cringy as well, I feel. I feel like they both... It wasn't just Kobe. Usman definitely is not the best trash talker in the world. He gets emotional.
Usman said something like, I see you're standing here talking now. I see your balls dropped or something like that. And then Kobe... I wrote down what he said to Usman, too, because this shit is just something else to me, man. He says, the only thing you're losing faster than your hairline is that Power Ranger belt. Stop faking injuries. You're out for 8 months with a hernia injury. It takes 6 weeks to recover. Stop faking injuries. You're Tyron Woodley 2.0. You get a call from the president today? That's right. You're a loser. No one gives a shit about you. Everybody came to see me. Shut your mouth and listen to the champ. Interim champ. Let's addend that.
That's fucking funny, though. I mean, at least he was, like, making sense and actually saying words.
Sure, but I feel like he had planned that at some point.
Sure he did. He definitely planned that. That's fucking... I think it's funny, though, just because I'm embracing the trollness in him. I don't know why. I just don't...
Because you're a troll.
I am a troll.
You're fucking...
I'm a troll at heart. I used to be, like, the biggest troll. I played Halo and shit.
Just kidding.
But, I mean, Kobe, he's backing it up, and that's the thing that I respect about it. And that's what makes me like the trollness even more.
Fair, yeah.
Like, in his fight camp, he allegedly took a headbutt. Like, he accepted the fight on 4 weeks' notice. He took the headbutt 1 week into the fight camp. So he only had 3 weeks left before the fight started. And he, like, sent Ariel pictures of like the big gash on his eye. I guess the doctors recommended he didn't fight because he could like tear it open again and like lose his entire eyelash or something crazy. Like he could like damage his eyebrow. He could like get permanent damage to his eyes and shit.
Sure.
That or it could just open up really easily, and if that opens up and starts bleeding, you're gonna lose on a technical whatever, a TKO stoppage, whatever that's called, a doctor stoppage.
Yeah. And
it's just a risk. So the fact that he accepted the fight on top of that, and he put makeup on it to like hide it from the commission, it gave me a newfound respect for it. Although I did hear Woodley talk about it because when Ariel posted on Instagram, like Woodley was like the top comment. He's like, "You're really about to give him like a shine for this shit." And I listened to the MMACast today, and Ariel was like, "Well, what's wrong with that?" Because Woodley caught him out on it again. He's like, "It's a cop out that." If he loses, he has an excuse. If he wins, then he makes it look even better. And then he's like, I could have used it too with my Usman fight. Like, you think I wasn't injured in any of my fights? And I don't know. Like, I don't know if I agree with Woodley on that.
Are you sure? I feel like there are a lot of injuries that you
definitely agree.
Face in training camp, and you have to fight through if you want to actually reach the fight.
I completely agree with that.
Is a eyebrow cut the worst possible thing?
No, I definitely don't think it is. I don't think that's... I'm not saying that at all.
Even if he did lose, I don't think he wouldn't be saying like, yeah, but I had an eyebrow cut, so I think that's why I lost.
I don't think Woodley's saying that Kobe would have said that.
Right.
I don't think Kobe would have said that personally. And also, the way Woodley was talking about his fight with Usman, it was almost like I could have, but I didn't.
So
but I could have.
Maybe trying to reach for his own thing there.
Yeah, and I was like, but I don't know. I really like Woodley. So
I see two sides of that. He is right that injuries do happen, but I don't think it's that big of a deal to affect the outcome of the fight or how people perceive it. And don't be butthurt about it.
Yeah. So he gave him props though. He said Kobe's performance was amazing.
I mean, when you work Robbie like that, how do you give anything other than props?
Right. So also another few things for Kobe's big night. He actually did have Donald Trump tweet about him before the fight, which I was shocked. I thought all that president talk shit was not true at all. I honestly thought Dana got him into the office that one time, and then Trump said, "Okay, get the fuck away from me." And then Kobe's just using that as like his huge MAGA support to get all the huge right-wing supporters.
I wonder if they have like some kind of deal or something where Kobe walks out wearing the MAGA hat and all that shit.
He didn't wear the MAGA hat.
Yeah, he did.
Not walking out.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Either walking out or
maybe walking away
into the building. I think maybe.
Oh, yeah.
When he had sunglasses and shit.
Yeah, no. When he walked out to the octagon, he just had the flag like this.
Yeah.
But and out he had the tweet from Trump. He had the Trump family front row.
Which those
crazy.
Those kids are not good people. Point that out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the politics. I'm just surprised that they fucking were there in the first place. And then he got a phone call from Trump himself, which say what you will about them, like politic wise, I have no fight in that. I took my emotions out of the politics before the election happened because I got so emotionally invested into Bernie versus Trump and then Hillary versus Trump, and I was almost getting into fucking fights of people at work.
It's absolutely not worth it.
And it's asinine and it's pointless, and I realistically don't know nearly enough as I should to even have an educational argument about it.
Sure.
And everybody that I was arguing with, same exact thing. It was more emotional. Like, you're racist. I think you're racist. You're a piece of shit. And they're like, I think you're a piece of shit and you're a fucking sheep or blah, blah, blah. And then I knew they weren't racist and they knew I wasn't like a sheep but like
everyone's gotta be right.
Everyone like, yeah, exactly. It's just not healthy. So I stay clear of it.
I blame social media.
Definitely.
Someone asked the question of since the 2010s are about to be wrapped up. First of all, that's fucking crazy. Second of all, they asked
real,
what would be like the defining like feature of the 2010s. I think it is social media blowing up out of our control. We can see like our society degrading, and there's nothing we can fucking do about it.
I don't know if it's degrading. I think it's just now more than ever, you're allowed to see everything.
Everything is awful
live. And it's
we're not prepared for that.
Everything is not awful. We definitely weren't prepared for that. Everything is awful?
I can't say everything is awful. I'm just saying most of social media is, because most of it is lies.
If you look at the news from like the 80s on, what's the number one thing? What gets the most hits? It's negativity.
That's
violence.
How it's always going to be, but now it's literally front and center.
Because it's everywhere. You can get something immediately because it's social media. Yeah. And that's what clicks. And it's not just all of a sudden the whole world is dying and shit. It's just negativity's always been there. Motherfuckers like to see the world burn, and for whatever reason, it gets clicks. It's shitty. I don't know why. I don't get the human logic of it. I mean, personally, I think it's just people who like to see other people suffering to make their suffering seem less miserable. I don't know, like a bully mentality type of thing, or like a cop out. I don't know. But like me personally, I don't think the world's like bad. There's definitely terrible things that happen. But there's also a lot of good things that happen. They just don't get as much publicity.
I didn't say the world's bad. I said social media's bad.
Okay. Then yeah, I won't argue. I thought you were saying like the fucking like everything's bad right now. I'm like, no, not everything.
I mean, depression rates are all up. We got Russians invading the elections.
That shit probably happens all the time.
Probably.
Like, you probably have no idea. I don't know. Don't listen to me about dick about politics. You can listen to me about MMA. I know some shit. By some shit, I mean a little bit. Okay, so like it was a huge night for Kobe overall.
Yeah,
huge night. That Usman Kobe fight, I'm pretty sure that's like it has to be the next fight now. Everyone's excited for it.
You don't think it's Masvidal getting the shot?
No, absolutely not.
I don't think so.
I think if Masvidal was gonna get the shot, they would have announced it before this fight.
And they clearly orchestrated that post-fight. Table meeting
Usman
between
was
them.
there
yeah.
to do the commentary.
Mm-hmm.
They planned this shit, and Jorge's either gonna have to wait or he's gonna fight Leon Edwards.